I know it's way too early, we don't even know the format, but I'm going to make my first 2026 NASCAR Power Rankings anyway. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove, presented by Tableau TV. Watch, rewind, and record live TV with Tableau TV. There is still so much we don't know about the 2026 season, the format for starters, yet that hasn't stopped BetMGM from releasing their opening 2026 NASCAR Cup Series championship odds. What, or should I say who, sticks out to you? Could it be the 19-year-old Trackhouse rookie with the same championship odds as Championship 4 driver Chase Briscoe? Look, I'm not going to pretend like I know how sports betting works or how these odds are set, but Connor Zilisch with the tied for the 6th best odds to win next year's Cup Series championship, that is wild. They've got him ahead of 3-time champ Joey Logano. Do they know what year it is next year? Even year Logano is still a thing until proven otherwise. Anyway, I figured if there are already odds for next year's championship, what's stopping me from doing my first way too early 2026 NASCAR Cup Series Power Ranking? So that's what we're going to do here today. But before we get to that, a couple quick news stories. Really just one. Speaking of championships, 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson confirmed yesterday that he will participate in next summer's San Diego Naval Base Coronado Cup Series race. He will drive the Legacy Motor Club number 84 Toyota. Jimmie Johnson grew up in the San Diego area, and when NASCAR first announced this event, Jimmie was out there doing promotional press conferences. So it is not a surprise that Jimmie will be behind the wheel in his hometown race. Johnson made just two Cup Series starts in 2025, finished top 5 in the Daytona 500. Good luck to Jimmie next year. I'm not expecting him to run amazing by any means, but that will surely be a special moment, not only for the entire sport, the industry, just that race in and itself, to celebrate America's 250th birthday, celebrating the Navy, the military. Not only is the event itself, I think, set up to be spectacular, but it will be an emotional moment, I'm sure, for Jimmie Johnson making a Cup Series start not far from his hometown. So there's some cool, exciting news. Jimmie Johnson, he's not done yet. He's got at least one more Cup Series race on his schedule. All right, now it is time for my way too early 2026 NASCAR Cup Series Power Rankings. These aren't championship predictions. How could I predict the champion when we don't even know what the points format is going to look like next season? This list is simply who I believe the fastest, best executing, best performing teams in the NASCAR Cup Series garage are right now, and who I expect to carry that momentum into the start of next season. Let's dive right in. Quick honorable mention to Brad Keselowski and really all of RFK Racing. Even though they missed the playoffs this year, Keselowski scored 5 top 10 finishes, was this close to a couple of wins. And while we don't know what the format will be next year, it's safe to say the one race finale is gone, so larger sample sizes, perhaps an added emphasis on consistency. That was RFK Racing's strong suit this year. Chris Buescher had the 7th best average finish all year, so honorable mention, RFK Racing. Let's get into the top 10. At 10, this might be a hot take. Give me Ross Chastain. I really like the crew chief swap that was just confirmed this week. Brandon McSwain comes over from the Hendrick Motorsports number 24 to work with Ross next year. Ross has evolved into a steady, consistent driver this year. Trackhouse did not have the speed at most ovals to compete. Ross was still able to win the Coca-Cola 600, still managed a respectable 15th place average finish. Bring a Hendrick Motorsports guy in, that can only help. I'm betting on a slight speed boost for Team Trackhouse next year, and if that happens, I think Ross Chastain is a mature enough driver to make the most of it, especially if we end up in a full season points format or a larger sample size at the end. That could favor Ross Chastain. Give me Ross at 10. At 9, I had a hard time placing Tyler Reddick because this was statistically a down year across the board. He didn't win any races, but he still managed a solid 14.5 average finish. I still think 2311 Racing is a contender, but this is going to be a pivotal offseason. Lawsuit, of course, but just preparing for next year. You'll notice most of the teams that expanded to 3 full-time cars this past season took a step back. Front Row took a step back. RFK Racing missed the playoffs. 2311, only 1 win as an organization. Even Trackhouse, outside of SVG on the road courses, Trackhouse took a small step back, I'd argue. Another full offseason for these teams, bringing the same guys back for another year. Hopefully they can all hit the ground running a bit faster to start 2026. I've got Reddick at 9. Joey Logano comes in at 8. Statistically, 2025 was probably Joey Logano's worst season since joining Team Penske 12 years ago. But he still managed the 10th best average finish in the series. And he had some really good runs late in the year, 3 straight top 5s at one point, led a bunch of laps at Talladega. I respect Joey, he's a vet, he's a champion. Paul Wolfe is a champion, Team Penske are champions. And don't forget, 2026, even year. Joey Logano's been pretty good every other season when it comes to the championship. Give me Joey Logano at 8. At 7, another driver who was difficult to place, Chase Elliott. Outside of a few select races, I didn't see a lot of winning speed from Chase Elliott this season, but as per usual, he was consistent, he was steady, few mistakes, got good finishes. Finished the season with, let me get this right, a 12.6 average finish. Second best in the series for the season. Elliott would likely thrive under a full season format next season. He scored 32 top 20s in 36 races. They were good at limiting the damage, limited the bad days, a lot of good points days for the 9 team this year. That's what worked back in the day. Maybe that will work for them next season. Time will tell. At 6, give me Ryan Blaney. He ends the 2025 season with a victory. This was arguably the best season of his career from a statistical standpoint. 4 race wins was a career high, but he did have 8 DNFs. Now, I don't see that happening again next season. Blaney is the best ranked Ford on my list. I have some questions about the blue ovals. Look, I liked how RFK finished the year. Even Front Row. Todd Gilliland had a couple good results in recent weeks. Ford was shut out of the championship race this year. I think it's safe to say Toyota stepped their game up, Joe Gibbs Racing especially, and Chevrolet is getting a new body for next season with the latest and greatest research put into it. Will Ford be able to keep up next season? If any blue oval driver can, I believe it is Ryan Blaney. I have Blaney at 6, but it's all Chevys and Toyotas in my top 5. At 5, Chase Briscoe, fresh off a fantastic first year with Joe Gibbs Racing. Really, it was the tale of 2 different seasons. First 16 races this year, Briscoe was all right. In the first 16, 0 wins, 5 top 5s, 92 laps led, but in the final 20 races of this season, 3 wins, 10 top 5s, 792 laps led. Oh my goodness. Which version of Chase Briscoe will we see for the full 2026? My guess is it'll be more of the second half Briscoe, closer to the championship contending Chase Briscoe we've seen the past few months. I see no reason why Briscoe and crew chief James Small won't build on a successful 2025. Chase Briscoe 5th on my 2026 way too early power rankings. His teammate Denny Hamlin is at 4. I think Denny Hamlin is one of the smartest race car drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series, but that mental fortitude is going to be tested the next couple of months. We've talked about it. That Phoenix loss had to be the most heartbreaking championship loss any driver has suffered since Carl Edwards in 2016, and Carl Edwards did not come back from that. Literally, he left the sport. I think Denny Hamlin can come back from this. In his age 44 season, he put up incredible numbers. 6 wins, 3rd most laps led. Denny was great this year. Now, he'll be 45 next season, and the age 45 and up seasons have not been kind to too many drivers in the past. Even Kevin Harvick, one of the great veterans of recent years, at age 44, he put up 9 wins. Age 45, put up 0. Yeah, but a lot of that was Stewart-Haas Racing, I think we can say safely. I think Denny Hamlin and Joe Gibbs Racing are good enough to bounce back next season, to continue the great results, the great performance, and maybe the season-ending outcome will finally fall Denny's way. Give me Denny Hamlin at 4. At 3, I've got William Byron. I wasn't so sure about the 24 team a few months ago, but Byron ended the season by leading 50-plus laps at Vegas, 300 laps at Martinsville, and another 50-plus laps at Phoenix. Got that win late in the season. They showed us that late in the year, push comes to shove, they can find another level, win big races. But they also showed us in the first 26 races that they can be consistent. He won the regular season championship. So whether we have playoffs or no playoffs next season, I expect William Byron and Rudy Fugle to be formidable. Byron at 3. At 2, this may come as a surprise to some folks, I'm high on Christopher Bell still. Finished the year with a career best 4 race wins plus the All-Star, also a career best and season best 11.2 average finish. Barely missed out on the championship for the second year in a row. Had to watch his new teammate, the new guy on the block, Chase Briscoe, nearly win the title. I think Christopher Bell, Adam Stevens are hungrier than ever. That's a dangerous duo going into 2026. I believe. But at number 1, gotta give the champ Kyle Larson his due. We think of Larson as all or nothing, but this season he was pretty consistent. Finished the year tied for the most top 5s, tied for the most top 10s, had the 4th best average finish, finished strong with 7 top 5s in the final 10 races of the year. Larson seemed to be in kind of an unnatural funk after the disappointing Memorial Day double, but this strong run in the playoffs, winning the championship at Phoenix, that could be the shot in the arm, the boost Larson needed to get that mojo back ahead of 2026. So Larson at 1, there are my way too early 2026 power rankings. Am I spot on any of these? Am I way off base on others? Who am I missing? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thought this might be a fun way to kickstart the offseason. Never too early to look ahead to next season. What can I say? I'm also the kind of guy to get his Christmas decorations up before Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, helps me out. Also helps me out if you hit that subscribe button as well. If you're new to the channel, won't want to miss any great off-season content. Really appreciate your support. Like I said, plenty more off-season content to come. I'll be grading every Cup Series driver's 2025 performance. That video is coming very soon, making the finishing touches as we speak. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I'll see you again real soon.